Hello. I just wanted to come on and show you guys uh, what I've been up to. I've been cleaning out beads and findings and organizing, getting ready to hopefully do some serious time making jewelry. I've been doing it a little bit on the side, but while I was going through the beads and things, I found a lot of pieces that just look like they seem to want to go together. The whole thing started, I found this. It was a little bracelet already made, nothing expensive. I think there were some sterling bracelets made in this same heart shaped loop, but link, but it's not this one. Tested it. But this, I was going to do the bracelet on here. And this doesn't fit me. It's a small bracelet. And I always allow an extra inch or more sometimes in these larger cha-cha type bracelets because when you get all that stuff to make a nice swish of them, it makes them smaller. So this one, I just wanted to show you guys that if you do get, like some inexpensive bracelets like this that just have a heart or something on them, you can take that off and make these into something special. Okay, here was what I had found. And again, I will say, as far as the charm bracelets, cha-cha bracelets, junk bracelets, whatever you're making, a little thin chain doesn't usually work very well. And I keep a little shoebox with belts, chunky necklaces, broken pieces, bracelets, whatever. And I just usually go from that box. So this was some kind of necklace. I think it was actually U and I necklace, that brand. And I'm going to use this. I need to take that jump ring off. It was one of those double necklaces where some way, I don't know. Anyway, my little grand dog is here with me. The other one stays with Ken, and Fenway stays with me. He's a yellow lab. Ken's usually out in the garden, and Duke the other one really likes to be outside playing. Fenway's a little older, and he doesn't necessarily like to be outside that much. Okay, let's see what we've got measurement-wise. Okay, I cannot find my good ruler, don't know where it is. 6 and 3. There's right about right here would be 9. And I think I wanted to measure from the other direction and to leave the extender on in case it is even at 9 too small. So I'm going to leave my I didn't realize there was a jump ring there. Okay, I don't guess we will do that. Well, either way, we've got to use that length. Let's see. These two are not linked together. Fenway's wanting outside. Let me see if I can fix that. I keep pliers. I have deconstruction stuff and construction stuff. And obviously the deconstruction stuff is a little tougher. Let's take this off first, this loop. The deconstruction pliers are older and stronger and take a little more abuse. And I have deconstruction cutters too. Actually, the cutters are my old cutters. But, okay. Take that off. Where'd the jump ring go that came off of there? Oh, it's over here. Okay, let me get that. all the pliers and things that I have bought as of late have been this kind that have an ergonomic handle. My hands bother me a lot for different reasons. You can see I've got a lot of copper on my hands. What I have found is that combination of copper and amber helps me have more freedom from pain and mobility too. These are not for sale. They're just my things. I wanted to cover as much of the joint. This one has trigger finger, and I was trying to get as much copper down into that area as I could. But anyway, these kind of pliers give you much less problems than this kind. And some of my hand problems are from the pliers. But anyway, okay, I got that off. Now let's see what we've got in terms of length. Hold on, let me look at something. I have to order a new beading mat. This one that I have is horrible, so I'm working on actually another, just a white placemat. But my beading mat's really nasty and torn up. 6, 9. There we go. There's 9. And I'm going to take it off of this chain. This chain right here I don't think would make, I guess it could be a safety chain. I might cut a little bit, leave a little bit on there. Get good cutters. They're not wanting to get that. Let me get the heavy duties. There we go. Okay, these are really heavy duty cutters that I keep just for stubborn things mainly, or something that's okay. I left a little bobble there in case it would be too small, and I've allowed an inch on the main chain, so there we go. Okay, now this is a nice jump ring. I think I'll keep it. Now, this is the fun part of this whole thing, is laying out. I'm drinking my coffee. I don't know what's the difference when Ken makes it and I make it, but it's always better when he makes it. The first thing I found that I thought would be pretty, these little acrylic pieces, I think they're acrylic, yeah, I found, and I thought, well, those are really cute. And I'm going to stagger those. That was the whole main thing of the bracelet, were these. And there we go. I have a bunch of them, so I may actually end up putting one in each loop, which might be overkill to some degree, but maybe not. When you're making these cha-cha bracelets, you want a little bit of overkill, but that's probably a bit too much overkill. Yeah, let's start over. Let me get leave some room for some of my other stuff. And I typically don't put one right at the end, right there. Ken took one of the dogs out, and one was still with me, but must have decided he wanted to go out. Like, he must think they're doing something fun. Duke, the dark lab, is totally content just to be with Ken at the garden. And speaking of Ken, he just came in the door. You want to say hello? The camera's down.
Hello, everybody. You got a clean sunglasses hanging, and you on the screen.
He brought some water yet. He's a good man. Okay. I've got a fingernail that I don't know about you, but when my fingernail gets a jag in it, I just can't function. Okay, we got those. Now, I thought this looked like cinnabar. It's plastic. Apparently was glued into something. It came out of one of my craft lots. But it's not drilled. So that's going to be, or is it? No, it doesn't have a hole in it, I don't think. No. So I don't know how I could, that was the color I wanted to incorporate. May have to wire wrap that. And then I was going to take this earring and take that leathery, it's like leather or something, piece out. I got this piece of carnelian, which is not drilled. Yeah, it's drilled. Yay, one less bell to answer. Now this little bead is drilled. Good. Got that. Probably how I'll do this is go on and put the green ones on and then come back. These little beads are wood, I think. Little animal print beads. I just thought they might add a contrast. This this piece right here, I think, came off an earring or something. Thought that would be pretty. This is just pure old how to use your craft lots 101. This is another earring, which was beautiful. I wish I had the match to it. Or maybe I do and it had vertebrae. I can't remember. There was a reason I didn't sell these. But I thought I would take either the bottom one or even both of them off. Probably just, I don't know, one or the other. And this one I wasn't sure about how the contrast of this glass bead would look on there. Let's see. Not sure. Here are, this is a little heart with a, is that intaglio you call that? I'm not sure. It's inside, you know. And put that on. And the little dangle that's on the end of the heart, I may put at the end of the bracelet. I'm not sure because it's got my color I'm trying to incorporate. Now these little beads, I first thought would look really good, and I just don't think they are. They cheapen the bracelet. So I think I'm going to pull those aside, get them out of my way. Okay. Now, I wanted to put a little more crystal colored glass or acrylic, either one, on there. Here's one little green cat eye I thought I might just stick in. And my passion is undyed howlite, but I lost the other one, so I don't know if I want to just put one in or not. And what about these little dark green crystals? I'm not sure on them. I just don't like that look. Okay, and I do have this, which would also have to be wire wrapped if I use it. I don't know. I'm not wild about that. Now this is a little bead that matches some of this stuff. I might put that and these two beads. That one, not that one. This one on there somewhere. And I'm going to put these green beads also to the side out of my way. I just don't like that. Okay, that's what we've got. So, we've got a lot of applying T-pins into these to where I can hook them to the bracelet, and I have two that will require wire wrapping. So I'm going to start, I'll do a few of these greens to let you see the process, and then I'll probably do those and then come back to save time on the video. But let me show you how we do those. I spent about 3 days, I guess, if y'all guys want to know what I've been doing. I have tried to get all my jewelry making supplies organized, and I actually sorted these pins one by one. So there you go. Let's see what we want to use with that. Probably just a straight pin, and it does need to be a long one because I think this one's sterling. The softer ones are usually sterling. Let me get one that's not. The problem with the sterling ones, although they're wonderful if you're doing a sterling project, they are very soft. Okay, I keep T-pins whether they're a little bit crooked or not, and I end up straightening them. There's kind of what we'll be using. Now, some of these beads, I have to put a little teeny bead at the bottom to keep it from going through, but I believe these green ones will be fine. So, let me get the tools that I need for this. Okay. So what we'll do is, of course, we stick it through the bead. Well, Barbie. There we go. Take your straight pliers. We're doing what's called a wrapped loop. You could do just a regular simple loop where you just close it, but as far as long term, you know, these are for me, and I'm rough on stuff. I like things to be secure. You make just a right angle bend. Then we're going to come in with the, I'm going backwards this way, protect your hand a little bit more. And you come all the way over and down like that. Then you move your pliers and come all the way over like a little scarf. Okay, come back in with your chain nose pliers, and then I usually just use my finger, depending on how strong the T-pin is. Sometimes you have to come in with another pair of pliers and wrap like that, but I usually just use my finger. And I try to go at least 2 times, but even if your piece of wire or whatever is short, it still gives it more security than, I'll go one more time, than not using it. Okay, so you see we got a little piece of wire sticking out right there. So we need to cut that as closely as we can. Let me get my reading glasses. And we still got a little teeny jag right there. And one thing that I can't remember whose channel I learned this on, so I will tell you it's not my own discovery. If you use your the ones you use when you're doing crimping pliers, and put that in one of the holes of the crimping pliers, often you can get that little end tucked in better. I've done it with both of the holes. Usually I think I end up using the top hole. This moves around, which makes it kind of interesting to mess with. Okay, let's see. And if that doesn't work, try something else. You know, that's to me, that is the most irritating part of doing these, is trying to get that little wire where it doesn't get you. Okay, there's one. I'll do one more just to give you the idea of what we're doing. Those are sterling. I don't really want to use the sterling ones up. Okay, there's another one. We're going to come in. Oh, that one went right through there. I wonder if this one will. Let me pull on it and see. Let me get a different T-pin so I don't have to try to see if that will work. I might should have put a bead on that one. Let's see. Some of these T-pins have bigger heads than the other ones do. Oops. I think that one will be okay. There we go. And we will take our round nose pliers. All the way over. This one will not be wrapping around 3 times. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to just use the longer ones and use a bead on the bottom to hold the, keep the T-pin from coming through. But I will do these and be back, and they'll all have little hooks to hook into the bracelet. Be right back. Okay. What I did figure out was that these little pieces, I had to have a little bead on the bottom to hold it from sliding through, and I just put one on the top too to give it more of a uniform look. So I've done a whole bunch of those, and I'll show you. Okay, so I take my round. Hello, where did you go? Right here. You take your, after you've bent this down with your chain nose pliers to where you have just a right angle, you come in with your round nose pliers, put them right here, wrap all the way over and down, move your pliers, and wrap around. I usually take it out and get my chain nose pliers and do that, and then just wrap. You can use another pair of pliers, or you can just do like that. Now I'm going to trim this off, and then I've got to tuck in that little sticky outy piece. And again, I use my crimping pliers to do that most of the time. Sometimes you have to come in with something else, but usually the crimping pliers work pretty well for that. But you do have to be careful or you'll just cut the whole thing. That one didn't seem to do as well with the crimping pliers. Let me just come in with my chain nose and kind of tuck that little baby in. It makes it hard to do because they spin when you're doing it. Okay, now let me show you how you hook that on. You got to have a little jump ring, and there again, I usually use a heavier gauge jump ring when I'm doing these than I do normally on stuff. Just because they do tend to get a little bit of a whole lot of action being moved around on your wrist. And okay, got your jump ring. These particular ones are already open, but they usually need to be opened a little more. get my chain, and I'm just going to hook that like that. And I'll just start, I'm going to start on about the third one from the end on this end. Close it right back up, just like a open and shut thing. And there's our first piece. Now, it takes a lot of time to do this whole bracelet, and usually what I like to do is get my base color that I'm going to use on first. Let's hook this one on too. Okay, I think I'll skip one in between to start with. I've probably got enough to do one in every one. The typical cha-cha's got a loaded up look to it, so isn't that pretty? A true cha-cha's got almost a circular movement to it. That's not really what I was going for here. I didn't want to call it a charm bracelet, and I didn't want to call it a junk bracelet because typically my junk bracelets don't look quite this uniform. Although I have kind of here, I have kind of done some of the same scourings for treasures to complete this. It's not all store-bought pieces from the jewelry counter. I'm gonna have to, I don't think you can see. Now, wrapping. Some of these little pins weren't as long as the other ones. Makes it a little more difficult to get a nice wrap. But even a bad wrap is more secure than just a simple loop. Okay, let's put this one on. You want to? Okay, that's not the same. These are the... I started working on this earlier today, and it's the first time I've used a video editor where I'm doing it in segments and editing and uploading in a long time. I usually film live, and years ago I used to do a lot of video editing on a very antiquated kind of software, but I'm using what was, let's see, am I skipping one, I think, using what was on this Microsoft computer, which was, had something to do with a monkey, Click Chimp or something like that. See, there we go, we got 3 already. And if your jump rings aren't close in size, it does, one or two of them might hang down a little lower than the other one. I think I got a larger jump ring on that one, but it doesn't really matter. And besides, this is for myself, not for sale or anything. And I enjoy making things for myself because the pressure isn't there that you have when you're doing for other people. Other color parts to the video. Okay, so I have gotten those little faceted rectangles all hooked on, and I was debating. I had these 2 things that were in something that I had cleaned out, little triangles that I thought about putting in. What do you think? I just have 2 though, so I would have to, I just don't really like that. I think I'm not going to use those from this. Those might make some pretty earrings. Okay. The doggies come back in here. Okay, guys, you're all going to have to go somewhere else for a few minutes. They're bigger than the room, actually. Alright, I did glue this little flower. That will probably be right in the center. Which I got to see where the center is. About right in there somewhere. And that one needs a pretty heavy jump ring. Let's see. Needs to be sure and be an 18 gauge jump ring, because that is a heavy piece. Let's see. I think that's 18 gauge. Here we go. This is thicker than 18 gauge. Don't like how that looks. Here's a nice one. Okay. And we're going to hook that one right dead center. I'm tired of doing wrapped loops. Ugh. I did finally figure out something I had seen on another video. These pointed kind of pliers do work better for doing wrapped loops. So for now, I'll probably be using those. Okay, let's get this little thing on there. And when you're doing these bracelets, if you truly want them to be like a cha-cha bracelet, you need to load them up. And that's where the acrylic beads come in good, because they're not that heavy. And if you use stones or even glass for all your beads, it's going to be awfully heavy. And usually when I have bracelets on, I'm playing either a piano or an organ. And, it's just not practical for me. Okay, I like that. I like how that looks. Now, let's see what else we got. Okay, this one, I think I'll put it about right there. I need to get the wrapped loop on it done. I didn't do that. Hold on. Bringing it around. Let me get my bent chain nose. Get those bent chain nose, and they go right in there. They fit better to do your wrapping. Been watching the weather. There's a really bad storm processing through the southeast, headed into the southeast. I think a town in Oklahoma was hit pretty badly. They've been hit so much this year. Okay, let me get my clippers. Always point that away from your face. Your eyes are precious. You don't want to do anything to endanger your eyesight. Okay, still got a little pokey there. Let me. There again, even for doing that, those pliers are so much better. I think I may have to clip another little bit off of there. Of course, I wear reading glasses anyway, but you should never do anything like this without some sort of eye protection. Your eyes are very precious. Because you never know when even just a wire or other finding is going to jump right up into your eye. I've had it be very close before. Okay, I think I said I was going to put this one over here somewhere where there's a bald spot, sort of. That's basically what this whole, these kind of bracelets is, just hunting a bald spot and putting something in it. And that's really where it kind of gets fun. You need a base layer of something for most bracelets. Now my junk bracelets, I don't. I just start putting stuff on them. But the pieces on the junk bracelets are so large that you don't really have the ability to use a lot of other beads and stuff. Okay, there we go. So we're mixing in those cinnabar colors. I've got this little heart right here, and I want to utilize it. I've been trying to decide whether to leave these on there or just I think I'll just take it off about right here. Just clip it off right there. That still incorporates a little bit of the, these are my new clippers. Somebody must have borrowed them. Okay, there. Now, the findings on this little heart are actually not as silvery silver as the rest of this, but like I said, this is for me, and I am just not that picky, and don't really care. So, but these pieces just screamed out to me when I was cleaning out that they all went together. Okay, let's put this one right here. And I'm just not that picky either about what direction the stuff's going in, because on a cha-cha bracelet, you're going to have so many things that it won't matter. Now, if you're putting charms on a charm bracelet that's just going to have a few charms, you do want those all going the same direction. On these, I just don't. These are just pure fun. I love making these. Okay, I have also, well, actually, these little pieces would be cute, wouldn't they, if I just stuck them in somewhere, which I may do that. This piece I thought was really pretty. I want to stick it in. I've got to get a T-pin. I think it's going to need a bead on the bottom too. I was putting all these little beads on the bottom, you'll notice, on those, to keep the piece from sliding off the pin. There we go, see? And then, I don't know, I just think it looks more balanced if you have one at the top too, like that. So let's bend that baby over. You hear my doggies. Those are my grand doggies. Parker called me and he asked me how the dogs were last night. And then he told me he had eaten some alligator. And he said he didn't like it. He said, I spit it out. Which I would probably, if it tasted anything like frog legs, I would spit it out too. Ugh. I had always wondered what frog legs tasted like. And I don't like frogs anyway. I was always terrified of frogs. I'd never really seen a frog until I was about, I don't know, probably in middle school, and was at this school picnic, and the boys were chasing me with frogs out of the creek, and I was terrified, literally terrified. Let me see who's messaging me. Hold on. No one messages me till I'm either in a store or on the computer. That was from my Walmart order telling me what they didn't have. Okay, let's get a jump ring. Hook this in. Get some more color. I think we need some more color about right over in here somewhere. Right here, maybe. Oops, Barbie. I really like doing these videos better live than I do just talking to the computer screen. told Ken he could come in here when I'm doing them so I could talk to him. There we go. Where did I say? Over in here somewhere. Right here. I can see a bald spot. Okay. So here's about where we are now in terms of color. Now, I have these two little, oh, this one piece I definitely wanted to get on there. This leather piece, leather looking piece. It's an earring, and I don't really know what it's made of. It looks like leather, but I don't think it is. I wanted to get that on there. So I'm going to have to clip that and pull out the T-pin they had in it that's old as the heels. Ken just came in the doorway in some very bright orange shorts I've never seen before. It was kind of shocking.
You've seen them last year.
They're shocking. I just got a message from Walmart of what they didn't have. And I checked no substitution on mine because their new policy is that if they substitute and it costs more, you pay the difference. So I just told them not to substitute. Let's see what they didn't have. Let me see. Let us see what they did not have. How much stuff I just rejoined today, and I may cancel it by next month if they constantly don't have what I have ordered. Well, they don't tell you what they didn't have. Oh well. But I said no substitution, so I should be good. Okay, let's get a T-pin and get this thing wrapped. I don't think I'm going to need a green bead, but I'm going on and put one on just for uniformity with the rest of the bracelet. I love this bead. I just don't really know what it is. Let me hold it up where you can see it. Almost just looks like a scarab or something. I don't know. It's just really interesting. I wanted it on here, so let me... I hope wherever you are watching this that you are not being affected by the tornadoes. I enjoy recycling materials. I almost enjoy that more than getting new jewelry making materials. I like to combine the two, obviously, but okay, there we go. Now let's see where we want to put that. I think maybe right in there. What do you think? Would be good. These jump rings, I sorted all of them out, and yet it still seems they've all had some kind of wild party like necklaces do, and just gotten all messed up. Okay, let's see. Where did it go? Somebody put something about Cotton Eye Joe on Facebook or somewhere. YouTube. I don't even know where I saw it. And I have had that song going in my head ever since I saw that. Where did you come from? Where did you go? That one. Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? And I have had that going on in my head. Just wanted to say thank you very much, whoever did that. Now, my intent had been to use also this piece of carnelian. I don't know. Not sure about it. And I had these two little wooden beads I had thought about throwing in. Don't like them. Out. Get out. Get out. I had a piece of, that's not drilled. I had this other earring with these beautiful faceted glass rhinestones or crystals or whatever. And I think I'm going to put that on kind of to go with that crystal heart. Don't like that. Got these two odd shaped green beads. I may add those just because they're more green. Add some more fullness. Let's deconstruct this. Let's see. I think I'll go from just the pear-shaped one. I love that. Let's find a thing and get that baby on there. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? You all are welcome. You'll be singing that now for days. Oops. That is one of my dogs wanting outside. There we go. These are probably the most spoiled dogs in the history of the world. Of course, they're so used to us anyway. I mean, they stay here periodically, and also we're at their house a lot with Parker. Daughter messaged me, "How are the dogs?" And I said, "The dogs are fine, and your aging parents are fine, in case you wanted to know." Both of my kids are animal crazy. Always have been. They get that from their father. I mean, I like animals. It's not that. I mean, but Fenway is supposed to be on a diet. My daughter says every time he stays with us, he gains weight. I think Ken and I are both slipping in food. I know I do. He's had a lot of goldfish and popcorn and caramel corn. I don't know what all Ken's slipping him. Okay, let's put that one on. Now, in relation to this crystal heart, where should we put this? Maybe just balance it out right there, you think? Would be good. I may end up cutting part of this back here off because I just needed to be sure I had enough length to accommodate my wrist after we got all the goodies on, because sometimes they shrink up to where you then can't get it on your wrist, even though the base chain was the correct length. I keep thinking I need to look and say hello to somebody. Nobody to say hello to but Ken or the dogs. I really prefer working live where I can chat with people. I think YouTube actually prefers you to upload videos, just from what I'm kind of reading. Okay. Now, I might try to find one other piece of crystal, but let's put these two little, I am just not sure about that. And these two dangles that came off of the earring, let's see if we want to do anything with those. Not sure. In this piece, I had thought I might end up using, I do not like it all in there. Okay, let's see about this piece of, I don't know, I don't think I want to use that. Alright, let's get these itsy bitsy green ones on there. I like them, just because they're different. Same color scheme, just a different. Better get a bead on there so they don't come falling through. The hole eats up the T-pin, so you have to have a little teeny bead. That's why I always keep a lot of seed beads on hand. Probably 11/aughts. I used to make rings with them. I haven't much lately, but I'll put 2 beads on the bottom. 11/aught beads are good for this. Stop being kind of like little stoppers. Okay. I think I grabbed a short T-pin, but it's not going to matter. You always take your chain nose pliers and grab that top bit, and then let me get the part I'm going to wrap. Ooh, that is a stiff, mean piece of T-pin. Some of them bend easily, and some of them you just about can't hardly bend them. I have a Walmart food order coming between 7 and 8. No idea exactly what's coming. We'll probably still have to go to the store and pick up things. Alright. Ugh. And let me get this one. Get that little main little booger tucked in there. Get a longer one this time. I think I may go back through there and sort out long and short. Okay, there we go. Where's that other little? There it is. Get my bead. There we go. Do our bend. Right over, and I can tell this is another very stiff and heavy T-pin. Yeah, it is. But if it's long enough, it's a little easier to operate than the short, stiff ones are very difficult. Okay, let me clip that. Sometimes I'll come back weeks later and put more stuff on these bracelets. I'll run across a bead and I think, oh goodness, that looks like my bracelet. I just kind of think in terms of a color wave or something, or I don't even know sometimes what I'm thinking. It just seems like it's right. And there we go. Got that little booger. It's kind of like catching a fly or something. Okay. Now, let's put those two on there in the places that might need some filling up or something. I think right here could stand one. Well, this end will have, this is the, might not put it here because if I cut any off, it will probably cut off from there. I don't know that I'll be cutting any off, but uh, okay, that one. I think I'll put the other little one on the other end. Now that, I just don't know. Let's see. There is a bald spot right there. I need to put something. This one I may just stick over in here. I gotta put something right there. Okay, now I need something. Where I saw that bald spot. Let's see. Over in here needs something. Let me think what I have that might work in there. Here a second. I don't know if, I think this is amber actually. Turn a light on it and see. Can't tell it. No, I don't. I think it's, I actually think it's acrylic. And it's just the color I need, so I think I'll go with that. Or is it? Yeah, it kind of gives a contrast that looks good. This is probably the most boring tutorial you have ever watched, and I apologize. I do better when I'm live. I just can't quite get the hang of the talking to the screen thing. There we go. clip that end. My least favorite thing is these little pokies. Okay, now we were going to put this one over here somewhere, weren't we? Yeah, there's a big bald spot. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think that's looking right pretty. And need to see in terms of the fit, what sort of fit we're looking at. I believe it's going to be about right just where it is. I don't know if I'll need the extender. I had thought about using the hardware on here off this other bracelet, but I don't think I will. We'll be back and we'll put the closure on it and see the final project. Okay, here's what we came up with after we added. I did go back and add the little pieces of that earring that we talked about, but I ended up stacking those on fresh. They were on those very old worn chains. But this is what we came up with. You want to be sure you got lots of stuff on there if you want a cha-cha bracelet, because to get that look, you've got to have it just loaded. And my suggestion is to keep it as light as possible. I've got a few pieces on here. This piece with the metal is a little heavier, but mainly what we're working with here is not really heavy stuff. You can imagine if all of these were glass and these were stone, how heavy that would be. So on your cha-cha bracelets, you can't just have the whole thing unless you want that extremely heavy, so you need to. But we ended up with lots of little bits and baubles and pieces. This earring had this dangle on it, if you'll remember, and I made it into actually two different pieces on the bracelet. But I'm very pleased with it. I ended up putting just the same jump ring that was on it to start with, and I do have the extender still on there till I see, I don't think I'm going to need it, but like I said, this is 1 inch to 1 inch and I think a half or a quarter larger than what I wear, which is, need help hooking that. But anyway, you want to be sure that you are starting out with at least 1 inch more than what you wear. And that brings me to this. I had started to use this cute little heart-shaped link costume bracelet to do this, and realized this is, and I did find my ruler. I'm so excited. This is right at about 7 1/4, 7 1/2, but notice you've got a toggle, so you always have to immediately, I say a half, some people say a quarter, adjustment just to be able to get a toggle. It's kind of like the old trucking song, give me 40 acres and I'll turn that truck around. you have to have room to get in there and turn around. So this was way too small for me, even as is. If I had loaded it down like this, it probably would have fit about a 6.5. But anyway, just remember, if you're doing a cha-cha bracelet, be sure that you allow at least an inch and a half above what you normally would wear. So I was just going to go through here and let you look again at what I have put on here. This was part of an earring that had this leather look on it. Just different pieces. This was a glass, my mind's drawing a blank, fancy glass bead. Lampworks is what I'm trying to say. This was the acrylic piece I glued on the heart that was on that other bracelet. This was a little carved looking piece that I put, and the center focal bead was this, so I kind of did everything cueing off of that little bead. But anyway, pieces of earrings and just different things. That's what I enjoy doing, is taking pieces that are not, they're either broken or they're outdated, and use bits and baubles off of them. And I love doing my junk bracelets, which I may do another one of those soon. But here's one of the little dingle dangles I created off that earring and another bead. It's just, I like this. This is for me. I'll be wearing it. Thank you for joining us, and look for more videos. Hopefully I will improve in my ability to do them quicker. Thanks for joining me. Bye.